So at Lorenzo, we've identified the consultation that you have with the client in regards to their hair and scalp is key to getting the right product onto the right scalp. Because of course it's not going to work if it's the wrong product on their scalp. So what we do is we recommend using the consultation card, which has specifically 3 key questions that will help you to find exactly what is the right product for that person's scalp. So the first question is what concerns you most about your hair and scalp? Let them tell you what the problem is. How often do you shampoo? This will indicate whether it becomes very oily or very itchy or very irritated quickly or not. And then why do you shampoo? Because again, that will indicate why they are shampooing their hair. So what concerns you most about your scalp? How often do you shampoo and why? Really simple and easy to remember, but you want to use the consultation card to write it down, and this will direct you to the right product for that person's hair and scalp type. So now I'd like to welcome Shana, who's come today to be our model and for us to demonstrate how we perform a consultation and how we use the actual treatments on the hair and scalp. So I'm going to start by using the Lorenzo consultation card and asking those 3 key questions we spoke about earlier. So Shana, thank you for coming in today. First of all, I'd like to ask you, what concerns you most about your hair and scalp?
It gets very dry and itchy, it gets flaky, and I have lots of scaling that falls down onto my shoulders and constantly through my hair.
Okay, all right. And how often do you generally shampoo?
Every 2 to 3 days.
And why do you generally, what instigates, I need to shampoo? Why do you shampoo?
It gets worse, the condition. It gets more itchy and irritable, so I find the more I shampoo, the more it settles it down a little bit.
It sort of starts to alleviate those sorts of symptoms. And are you on any medication or medicated treatments for your scalp or anything at the moment? No? And are there particular areas on your scalp that you have the problem more so than others?
Yeah, it's generally on the sides. It sort of runs right down to the back, so in that area is the worst.
As well.
Yeah.
And are there times when it might be more irritated than others? For example, in the summer or the winter, if you're more stressed, those sorts of things, do you find that flares the problem up?
Yeah, generally when I'm more stressed.
Okay, so just general life stresses and things like that, okay, when you're super busy and things like that. So then you get the flare up, it becomes more itchy, more irritated, more scaling.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, well I think we can do something to help you today.
Great.
And from what you've told me, it seems to me that you have more of a normal to dry and scaly scalp. And that indicates to me that you would be using the balance range for dry scalp conditions, and that will also help to remove the scale. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little look at your scalp now, and then we'll look with the camera also so that you can see exactly what we see on the scalp, and then we'll start to perform some of the treatments.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you. So in our consultation, Shana identified certain areas where there is more of a problem than others. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and look at the scalp, look at the normal areas of scalp, and then go and identify the areas that do have a scalp problem. And then we will go ahead and use the camera and we can show Shana exactly what's going on with her scalp. Take before pictures, and then we can come back once we've done the treatment and take after pictures and just basically see how much progress we can make, even just with one service. When Shana comes back in a month's time, we're able to then show her the progress that's been made by using the treatment over time. So what I will do, Shana identified the sides and down through into the back as the main areas with the problem. So I'm going to look through the top of the scalp. We generally do a full examination of the scalp. We want to make sure that there's no broken skin. If Shana's been scratching, we have to be very careful not to apply treatments that aren't medicated to broken skin because that can be harmful. So we want to go through and identify all the areas on the scalp. So through here I'm seeing quite normal skin. And so as you can see, I'm taking small sections and just going through and starting to see areas. And as we come down here, I'm starting to see some scaling that tends to be a little bit stuck to the scalp. And as I come down through the side, I can start to see more scaling. Again, we have more scaling over the sides and over the top of the ears. And just to go through the back. So the scaling on Shana's scalp is almost over the entire scalp. The only area that doesn't seem to be affected so far is the very top. And we have a significant amount of scaling through the back as well. So I'm just going through the centre in the back here and around behind the ears. There doesn't seem to be any broken skin at all, just some scaling that tends to be a little bit stuck to the scalp. So we'll be able to use the BALM treatment to do a pre-shampoo treatment to soften and lift that scale. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually use the Tricho camera to show and demonstrate to Shana the type of scale that's on her scalp and how the treatment's going to work for her. So now that I've gone through and I've identified the areas of the scalp that are have the most of the condition on it, I've sectioned the hair and I'm going to take the camera and I can demonstrate to Shana exactly what's going on her scalp. And so what we do is we just press the camera onto the scalp and it will magnify. We can actually use the dial to zoom in and to pull out and get a closer look at what's going on in the scalp. And so we can see here that there is quite a thick plaque of scale attached to the scalp. And again, what we're going to do is use the balm to soften and lift and help to remove that. And so what I'll do is just go over various areas, sectioning the hair, nice clean lines so that you can get a good shot of the scalp. And then we use the camera to focus in and we can take pictures of those areas. And so there's quite a few areas on the scalp here where we need to treat. Again, taking clean lines, clean sections so that you can get right down onto the scalp. And Shana can see there the scale that's on the scalp. What we'll be able to do is then once we finish doing the treatment, Shana will be able to see the before and after. So now I'm going to go through and apply the balm to Shana's hair. I have put gloves on. The reason that I've done that is because when there is scale sitting on the scalp, there is a potential that there is very delicate skin underneath the scale, and I don't want to introduce any germs or bacteria from my fingernails or that might be on my skin onto the scalp. So I choose to use gloves, and what I will do is massage the balm in as I go through. And this is just a little bit more of a hygienic way for everybody for us to apply this product because we are using our fingers. So we'll take the balm has a little cap and it is a spray nozzle. So we just go through and we just apply the product through onto the areas that needs it. I'm going to go through most of the scalp here because there is a certain amount of scale pretty much all the way through the hair. And as you can see, it's quite simple and easy to use and apply, and this is easy for somebody to use at home as well. It would just be a matter of spraying it on and feeling your way through. Okay. So at the moment I'm just going through and applying, and then what I will do is massage the scalp to make sure that I'm sort of in the beginning of softening and breaking down that scale. And then we will apply a warm towel. Now, wet heat is the best, depending on the appliance that you have on the salon or at home. A nice hot towel is quite good. A wet heat is much nicer on the skin and less drying to the scalp as well. Okay. Those areas that are really built up, start massaging it in straight away. Now there's no sting or anything with this product because it is just a blend of natural oils. There's things like sunflower oil, jojoba. There's about 9 different oils within the product range that helps to break down and soften the scale. Okay, so we've been through on one side and we'll go through and massage the scalp. And this is where, if you have a scalp massage brush also, this will help to lift and remove the scale too. Okay, so now that we've massaged the balm through the scalp, we've applied a hot towel and we're going to leave this for 20 minutes before we take Shana over to the basin, and then we will shampoo with our Balance cleanser. So now that we've rinsed the excess balm off the hair and we've dampened the hair down, we're going to use the Scalp Balance cleanser. We're going to use about the size of a 10-cent piece. Rub that between the palms of the hands and distribute throughout the hair evenly. Now again, the first shampoo is so that we're able to remove the excess oils, any debris or dirt or pollution that might be in the hair. And again, using the tips of the fingers to stimulate the scalp, move over the scalp and lift and remove the scale. We then come down through the ends of the hair to ensure that all the hair is clean. Now you may have noticed that of course the first shampoo doesn't foam up very much. And now on the second shampoo we'll get much more of a foam because the excess is being removed from the hair. We of course want to concentrate slightly on the areas of the scalp where the scale is particularly built up. We'll now leave this on for 3 minutes and then come back and rinse. So now that we've thoroughly rinsed the shampoo, we'll squeeze the excess water from the hair and we'll apply the conditioner. Of course, this is a scalp treatment, so we want it to go onto the scalp. Distribute between the palms of the hands and then start working it through onto the scalp. And this is where we can include a nice massage in the treatment. Again, teaching your client to use the tips of their fingers to get the product onto the scalp, to stimulate the scalp, increase circulation, and that also improves the healing of the scalp. Distribute through the ends of the hair, and we'll now leave again for 3 minutes. So now that we've combed and distributed the conditioner throughout the hair, we'll go ahead and rinse. You can actually see some of the scale rinsing from the hair. The scalp can be quite sensitised at this time, so we want to gently pat the hair dry. And then go ahead and wrap to go back to the station. Okay, so now we're back at the station. We'll take off the towel. It would have soaked up some of the excess moisture. And we're going to apply the Scalp Balance Toner. So the toner is the one that we leave on and we apply to the hair before we style and dry. We simply just open up the nozzle and that allows the liquid to flow, and it's really easy. You just run it through the scalp and then massage it as it goes through. So sometimes this can feel a little bit tingly on the scalp. If there is any broken or very, very sensitized skin, it's advisable to use simply the shampoo conditioner a few times first and then introduce the toner later on as a treatment. So just carefully going right through the scalp. And this you don't really feel this on the hair at all. It will basically just dry up and the active ingredients will then be left and remain on the scalp. Okay, really simple and easy way to distribute. And now we can go on to apply our moisturiser and our styling products and finish the completed style. Okay, so now we're back at the station. We've finished blow drying and styling Shana's hair. We're going to go through and show her now the difference between before treatment and after treatment by using the camera. So I'll just go and section the hair where we initially demonstrated and we'll be able to see the results. Okay, so now we can see how the treatment has worked on the scalp. We'll go through and look at the various areas. Can you see the difference there? Okay, and thank you for watching today. If you would like further information about the products, the various types of scalp disorders that it can treat, we actually hold classes in salon, in studio, and also online. So just hop on our website and you'll be able to find a way to get more information about the Tricho range and Lorenzo, and how you can use that in your salon or day to day. So thank you for your time and thank you for watching.